Hello everybody out there. So for today's video, I wanted to do a video on the topic of manspreading. It wasn't exactly what I thought I was going to talk about today, but yesterday I saw a meme and it put me in a space to have to talk about this topic. It was something that I was hoping was dead after moving here from Portland, Oregon, but unfortunately, yesterday I ended up seeing a meme and it literally said, control the spread. And it was like a little stick figure like off the bathroom door sitting down with his legs open and spread was in the middle of his legs. And I was like, I honestly thought it was a meme or a GIF or whatever for coronavirus. And I was like, okay, like maybe they're talking about like the spread and like how we can slow it down. I didn't know. So I clicked on it. The guy wasn't wearing a mask in the photo obviously either. And sure enough, it was not a little meme or GIF for coronavirus. It was a nice little article talking about manspreading. Now, if you don't know what manspreading is, you can feel free to Google it. You will be met with a slew of articles, a Wikipedia page talking about it, and a bunch of photos. But essentially what manspreading is when a guy is sitting down and he has his legs open. I am not going to move my camera around to like show you what this is. Like I said, you literally can Google it. But essentially it's like how guys generally sit, like how I'm sitting right now, which is with your legs slightly spread open. And that is considered to be manspreading. Now, if you haven't heard of this, then it's very, very likely that you are in a more, I would say, conservative city or state. It is a much more popular idea in progressive cities, especially the ones that I have lived in the past or visited in the past as well. As far as like the quick little bit of a rundown of what it is from my point of view, again, I'm not Wikipedia and I'm not a dictionary, so I'm not gonna be able to give you the exact verbiage that everyone would use, and I hate not disclaiming that because I don't want someone to say, well, that's not exactly what it means from my point of view, so let's just get that out of the way. So my point of view, manspreading is whether you are in a public place or sometimes even in a private place and you are spreading your legs as a dude. And from the point of view that sees it as a negative thing, it is seen as a guy taking up extra space to be dominant, to be aggressive, to, in a way, be misogynistic, which sounds kind of stupid, but that's essentially what it is. And you spreading your legs open is you taking up space, you showing your dominance, and you actively trying to be an asshole and take up space. That's literally what it is. Especially in public transit, whether you're on a bus or a train, maybe not necessarily a plane, but I guess maybe you could be on a plane too, in a classroom, and I guess even like maybe like at a party, like in a group of people. And you are purposely doing it as a man to essentially be an asshole or be unthoughtful. And like the reason why I wanted to do this video, and it's gonna end up being short, like I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not gonna be a long video or a long stream today, is because I saw this meme and I thought it was for something positive, like how to control the spread of coronavirus, and it ended up being about some negative bullshit that is literally bullshit about men purposely sitting with their legs too far apart. Now, as another disclaimer, I'm not gonna say that there aren't men who don't sit in public like assholes, who like overly spread their legs, who are doing it to be obnoxious or take up extra space. They don't want someone sitting next to them on the bus. They're taking up 2 seats. Those are not good examples of manspreading because that is just someone who's actively being an asshole. If a woman did that, they would actively be being an asshole because you're taking up extra space on purpose because you just don't care about other people. Like that's completely different. Now, what manspreading is, as far as from like the actual shit, is just men sitting comfortably. Now, like getting into it a little bit more, why do men sit like that? Like I'm not gonna explicitly say it because it's just, I just don't want to, I don't feel like it's necessary. But like guys got stuff down there, and I can confidently tell you if you were a dude, regardless of what you got going on down there, if your legs are squished together, I'm talking like tight, not crossed, but just squished together, it ultimately puts you in a very uncomfortable position. It does not feel good. It may not like hurt. For some people, maybe it does, but like I'm saying, it's uncomfortable. It's not nice. It's not how you want to sit. It's not natural. And it does not feel good. So you don't want to sit like that inherently. Now, I'm not saying again that when someone super spreads or some crazy shit like that, that it's not them being rude and being like a dominant or just unthoughtful. Yes, sure, that's true. But how an average guy sits is because it's uncomfortable and they just want to be comfortable, man. Like they got shit going on down there. And to be 100% honest with you, like girls don't have that same experience. So being very honest, when women come at it, because it's not a lot of men who I've heard this from, it has been women, in progressive cities. When women come at it and say like men are doing this because they're being aggressive or dominant or they just don't care and they're just unthoughtful on purpose and all this negative shit, which sounds kind of crazy from a logical perspective, the only thing that I can say is like, you don't understand, so you're trying to tell me how I should feel when you have no idea how it is to feel that way. I mean, the only like true example I could like possibly give you that has like some level of like equivalence is if women had bigger breasts, bigger boobs, whatever, and I asked them, instead of having their arms at their sides, to cross their arms like this and stay like that whenever they were sitting down, it wouldn't be a comfortable thing. They wouldn't want to do it. It wouldn't feel nice. It wouldn't be enjoyable. And I know it's kind of a different idea, but it's still within that same realm of like stupidity. Like it sounds so direct and like so forward, but it just is. It's a very dumb bullshit idea that's being brought forward. And also just like a little random like side note within this idea is that in reality, if you think about it, if you're in public transit or like on a bus, or I guess like another good one is like if you're like in a airport and sure you see dudes with their legs spread open because they're being comfortable, not because they're being assholes, you'll see women who have their purses or bags next to them or their other shit next to them on a bus or in the airport or wherever they're at because they don't want someone sitting next to them, or they're just keeping their shit up off the ground. But you don't hear men saying women do that because they're being aggressive and they're being unthoughtful and they're terrible. And again, for people who end up watching this, who haven't heard about manspreading, who haven't heard about like this whole idea and topic, you're gonna watch this and be like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Like, I've never heard about this. But I'm telling you, go Google it. It's a real thing. So I guess the purpose of me talking about this overall topic in a short amount of time is I kind of want to bring like more knowledge, I guess, or like more perception into this idea of ideas that are being brought forward, especially by groups of women, that are honestly very harmful for society as a whole, for men as a whole, for women as a whole. And the reason why I say that is, at the end of the day, like in reality, I support gender equality. I think that men and women should be on equal playing fields in every aspect of life. There should be no discrimination based on your gender, and that's it. Like, regardless of where you fall. But at the end of the day, when there's ideas like this that are brought forward, like something like this, where if you logically thought about it for 5 minutes by yourself with nobody else in your ear and said, okay, like, men are sitting like this because they want to be comfortable. Men aren't sitting like this because they want to be assholes or because they're trying to be dominant or they're unthoughtful on purpose. Like, it literally just comes down to them being comfortable and they're just taking up enough space to be comfortable. And that's the whole base of what's going on. When these ideas are brought forward, that's what's actually happening, the negative side of this viewpoint. It kind of starts to take away some credibility from other like conversations or arguments that are being brought forward by people who want equality for women with men. Because when you bring out something like this, like manspreading, which is like, I hate to say it, like, yeah, there are dudes that are dicks, but there are women that are dicks too that do the same kind of stuff in public spaces. Like, all you're doing, like, in my humble opinion, is you're really, like I said, tearing down your other arguments and discrediting your other arguments, because people then can tell you, hey, you said you believed in manspreading and that's bullshit. Like, why do I want to hear you, or why do I want to find a common ground with you on this other issue of equality if you also think that's real and that's bullshit, and I don't really think this is real? It could be real. Like, if you talk to me about it, I could agree with you or compromise, but because you brought this up or you support this or believe this is something that's actually happening, like, I can't even hear this over here because this shit is just so stupid. So I guess that's my idea behind it. And also the other reason I think that the reason behind like wanting to talk about it is people that haven't heard of this or haven't heard of some of these other like overly like crazy ideas that are kind of like negative towards men, because there are quite a few of them. Hopefully you kind of get to see this, realize that there's some of this negative shit out there. And hopefully if you do hear about it, you now know what it is a little bit. So you have an opinion already formed in your mind. So you're not just letting people like wash over you and be like, oh yeah, they talked about this and I didn't say anything. Like, no, you're like, no, that's bullshit. And number two, is that you understand that there are people out there that kind of fall into more of this radical category, and that it's actually a real thing, and it's not just stuff you see on the news or whatever. Like, it literally is going on in real world America on a daily basis. So that's pretty much what I have for this actual video. Like I said, I knew it was gonna be really, really short, but that meme pissed me off. Like, I really just couldn't handle the fact that someone took like probably what was a COVID meme or a coronavirus meme and turned it into some bullshit propaganda, we don't like men because they suck meme. So that's what I have for the video. At the end of the day though, the whole point of this is to help 100 million people in small ways as well as large ways. And the best way I'm gonna be able to do that is for people to share the content. So that's the only thing I'm ever gonna ask. I don't ask people to subscribe or like my stuff. If you wanna do that because you like it or you wanna subscribe and you wanna see it more often, that's great. You do that. Like, please do. Like, I'm not gonna tell you not to. If you wanna comment, once in a while I'll ask you to, but at the end of the day, the main thing that I'll ask is please share it. If you did get value from it, please share it. If you feel like someone else that you know might get value from it, tag them or share with them directly. If you think someone will laugh at some of the shit that I said, or if you just want to piss somebody off because you know they think manspreading is real, or maybe you know someone who doesn't think it's real and you're like, bro, you got to see this, somebody else completely agrees with you, then please share it for that reason as well. Because at the end of the day, more people that see the stuff, more people that are going to have positive things happen, whether it's, like I said, big life-changing things or it just makes their day a little bit better. So at this point in time, I end up answering questions live on Facebook Live and mostly on Twitch and do like kind of a Q&A section. So that's what I'm gonna be doing right now. So for the YouTube fam that's out there watching this video, it's always hard for me. Stay healthy and stay safe, guys. I'll talk to you real soon. Bye.